son, where'd you find this?
Don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any of the narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who acts like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico. They never lie.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide isn't front on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed, begging the generations remember our.
Yo. What's good? What's good? What's good? Happy Thursday. Peace and blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Hey, real quick. Shout outs to my poets, content creators, producers, writers, actors, painters, all that. You will always be on my priority list when it comes to giving out flowers, man, because you bring a different level of peace that can't be duplicated. You pour your soul and your heart into your work, and it's not even a job to you. You do it consistently, even days when you don't want to. My flowers to you, my hat off to you. Keep doing your thing. I promise you, the right people will appreciate it if they don't already celebrate you as it is. I want to thank everybody for tapping in, for showing love, for all your support. You see the title. I want to share my 2 cents on this. Now, the original clip I wanted to share, it created some problems. I just didn't feel like doing all of the screen sharing shit. I found another one that is just as good to me. Figure, why not have this conversation? Before I played it, I'm gonna bring it on the big screen. It's like 2 minutes or something like that. I got a question. In your honest opinion, who has a rougher time dealing with heartbreak? Men or women? That's what we're here about. That being said, let's roll the footage.
dumps you. Like it's not me, it's you. Like
My friend's going through a break moment. He's been with his partner for many, many years, and when he sent me the voice note explaining, like, we've been together 8 years, we've kind of broken up 4 times, but he's being broken up with, so he's the sort of victim per se, and
which is the better one to be.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You want someone to break up with you?
Oh, I mean, well, here's what I'll say, because I've something of a PhD in this one. I have to tell you, when someone has been broken up with, there's a tremendous amount, unless it was by some patently awful behavior, they got caught with the girlfriend or the boyfriend red-handed, like then no one's going to give you much sympathy. But if someone dumps you, like it's not me, it's you, like they just dump you, there's a tremendous amount of sympathy. Like if I called you and I said, dude, I just got broken up with, you'd be like, oh, mate, come on, man. Let's go out. That's tough, man. We've all been there. Like, don't say, what happened. But when you break up with someone, there's only so much sympathy people will give you because, well, we broke up. And if you're so upset about it, get back. What did you do it for then? Like, whereas sometimes, you're just the one who called it. Like, it wasn't a happy relationship. It wasn't like you're sad that it had to end, like I didn't want to break up. I wanted the relationship to stay good and it didn't. So one of us has to be the grown up and say, okay, this thing's over now. But I think that person actually sometimes deserves, just as much sympathy as someone who got dumped because they're both someone who's experiencing a loss of sorts, even if it's a loss that it's like, it's a terrible metaphor. But if someone said to you, I have lung cancer, you would go, oh my God, that's horrible. Like, are you okay? If someone said, well, I was a smoker for 50 years and I got lung cancer, it's not like you go, well, what did you think? Of course you're still going to go, oh my God, that's terrible. It's not like you deserve it. Yes, is it shocking? No, it's not as shocking if you've been smoking for 50 years, but it's still quite sad. And it's still a journey this person's going to have to go through. So it's the same thing. It's like, I just went through a breakup. Well, who decided to break up with who before I tell you if I feel bad for you or not? Like, I don't think that's a fair way to approach a breakup.
A lot of people want to own it. They want to own it. They want to say that they broke up with them, right, as well, because
it's very popular. Well, there's something empowering about it.
Yeah, it was my decision.
Yeah. And, or the like, well, I'm glad they did because I'll tell you the truth, I was about to break up with that person. Yeah, that's very common. I think that's a pride thing, though. But if someone dumps you, like it's not me, it's you. Like
my friend's going through a breakup at the moment.
Pause. Thank you. Let's do this. Do you believe that everything has an expiration date? I do. There's a season for all. Go read Ecclesiastics. In fact, I'll be making my way over there shortly. Ecclesiastes speaks about this in great detail. Nothing under the sun is new or old. It's all one and the same. What did you honestly think was going to happen when you either overly pour into something or you're in a scenario that no longer serves your purpose or doesn't align with what you got going on in your walk? This goes for friendships and all, but we're speaking solely on relationships. So let's say friendships, marriage, things start off sweet. One person eventually does not align with your perception of the direction of the relationship, or our futures don't resemble each other or mirror each other in no type of way, shape, form, or fashion. And then you start to have a lot of conflict within the parameters of your situation. You start to feel inadequate. They seem to be benefiting more or it's a mutual thing where nobody is really vocalizing their frustrations, but you just stay there, both damage each other over time. What do you think is going to happen? As much as I've seen relationships fail, come and go, as much as I've seen people cry and complain and go on a war path about the intricacies of these relationship patterns, there's always one thing that people should focus on. How did you get there? What could have been done to prevent it from going the way that it did? Is it really that difficult? In hindsight, no. Truth be told, we become so blinded by what we romanticize in our head about a person to the extent that everything else is ignored. We bypass the faults, the failures, the flaws, and we take on other pieces to a puzzle that don't belong to us, only to find out that we never should have inhabited those spaces to begin with. And you don't really have nobody else to blame for that. The question is, who takes heartache worse? I'm going to say men do. Not just because you got betrayed. It's not just because the man is psycho or because you think that this man has some underlining mental issues that he needed help with through therapy. It's not because he's on drugs. It's not because the man did something wrong in his past life and he's being punished for it. Men, in my honest opinion, they take breakups and heartache way worse because men invest more into any and everything, hands down. Men invest into their body, their family, the community, their jobs. They spend majority of their life trying to cultivate a system that is dedicated to their heart's desires outside of themselves. We're not talking about the minority. I'm talking about the majority of men. They care way more than women do. Women are more selfish, by far more selfish. And if you don't believe me, or you feel like my assessment is inaccurate, then provide me with numbers, statistics, and a nice history of where women sacrifice and pour more into society than men do. Show me where women pour more into their counterparts than men do. It's not going to happen. Men are more romantic. Men are more considerate. Men put in more time. Men sacrifice their bodies, higher livelihoods. They will give their last dollar. They will go to jail. They'll even put their entire salvation on the line just to make sure that the woman is happy. Tell me I'm lying. When a woman experiences heartbreak, it is completely different than when a man experiences heartbreak. Women, they automatically have 20 to 50 different dudes in their private messages, in their DMs, just waiting to buffer the fall. A woman will never fall completely flat on her face as long as there's a guy out there who is lusting after her or secretly in love with her or has always just needed to have somebody next to him for some type of notoriety or attention. As long as there are thirsty men out here who don't have no self-worth or value, or they just want to be needed because men want to be needed, women will never run out of a supply of dudes to give them attention. When a man goes through heartache, he doesn't want to be touched. He doesn't want to be bothered. He goes into hermit mode. He crashes out. He either is going to go into a decline or he's going to elevate. That nigga is not about to sit there and it's going to be either one. It's either he's going to crash out or he's going to take that hurt and he's going to do something with it. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous on both sides. It's irresponsible on both sides. Because when you go through pain like that, there's a chance that you could possibly take it out on people who didn't have nothing to do with it. And nobody wants that. But most men don't have 5, 10, 15 females just waiting to take him out to dinner and take him out to lunch and lay next to him, keep him company, stroll, have a conversation with him, let him lay on their chest for an hour or two and let him just vent. Because women don't give a shit about no dude struggle. Women don't care about men's pain. We've been down this road before. I've spoken about this an egregious amount of time. Most women do not care about the struggles of men. They don't give a shit if you have a hard time with love. They don't care if you have a hard time building your career. They don't give a shit if you have a hard time being unclogged and you constipated. Figure it out. Society tell men figure this shit out. Figure it out. I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. You know what? Guess what? As soon as I get off the line with you, I can go talk to such and such. I got somebody right now that's willing to fly me out. You can't do it. Okay, no problem. Oh, you ain't got time to listen to me? That's all right. I got somebody for that. When men go through it, men go through it. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Don't don't come to me with no fake sympathy and none of that. I don't want to hear none of that because we give way more. How can I say this? Most men only care about a couple of things in this world: God, Himself, and his loved ones. Everything else is just an add-on. God, him, his family, or the possibility of creating one and what he can do for them, to see them smile and everything in between. Women don't think like that. It takes longer for a guy to connect with somebody after heartache than it does a woman. Women, and this is why body counts get so high, and why like it'd be hard for anybody to establish any type of healthy relationships because you go through something so traumatic with a person where you're more affected than they are. They can move on easier. You got to sit in it longer. But you try to start to mingle and mix with other folks, and what you end up doing is you just start stacking up more and more bodies because we don't learn how to cultivate healthier relationships. We don't know how to communicate better. We don't know how to leave things alone that carried over into another human being. Like you take that spirit that you're accustomed to dealing with the prior person, and you find your attraction in another person, but they're different people, but they got the same spirit. And you keep on accumulating them patterns and you don't do nothing to stop it and prevent it. Bada bing, you done slept with 40, 50 people trying to find your way. It's at the point right now in 2026 where folks is just like, shit, I'm just going to sleep with it. Whoever, whenever, however. And it's better than putting your eggs in one basket and finding out that you should have just kept your fucking mouth closed. You shouldn't have invested. You shouldn't have poured. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. It's just easier to out here fucking around. That way, there's no strings attached. You don't get hurt. You don't waste and shave years off your life trying to convince a person that you're this person, only to find out that you don't blend or mix in with this person because your personalities were never meant to mesh in the first place. Just go ahead and have a Houston spring break. Let's do it. Better than nothing, right?
Bang, 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 bang.
It takes a mental strain. The level of mental burden and wear and tear that falls on a guy compared to her is immeasurable. That's why more men commit suicide. That's why most likely a dude who don't know how to bounce back from rejection or hurt, they'll never progress as far as they possibly could because they don't know how to use that situation like mulch. You know what mulch is. Turn it into something that could actually be a catalyst elevation. That way you're stronger in the process of the hurt and you can turn the hurt into a lesson. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing when shit goes sour. The only reason things go sour in the first place is because you're getting involved with folks that you shouldn't be anyway. You better off leaving this stuff alone. We just don't do it. By far, men have way more to deal with. Because guess what? Don't nobody want to hear you talk about how hurt you was for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Nobody's listening to that shit. Not ain't nobody looking at you the same after you done opened up and poured your heart out. As soon as a dude start doing that, everybody wants to come after him and rip him apart as if it's a contagion. How dare you have a heart? How dare you have feelings and emotions? You're not supposed to feel shit. You're a grown man. Get your ass up, throw on that uniform, and go to work. Put a band-aid on it, and yeah, we don't care, sir. We don't care that you're a human being like us. We don't care that you put 40, 50, $60,000 into this relationship, into this home, or into this situation, and they decided to up. We don't care. Women leave with more than the dude leave with. Oh, Confucius. You definitely leave more. Somebody is benefiting more out of this situation. I'm not talking about these pretentious make believe situationships that y'all be getting in. I'm talking about these real live legitimate relationships that y'all think you're supposed to be in, but you're not really supposed to be in. Most of the time, majority of the time, you are getting out of it more than he is. Not to say that women don't waste their time. Both men and women waste their time, honestly. That's why it's like my thing is, why the hell do you even like if you don't know how to be with another human being or integrate somebody into your life effectively, then why do you even bother in the first place? The older I got, the older I got, I just said fuck it. Because the truth be told, you're only going to get but so much out of a person. If they not really invested, You're wasting your time. And it shows. The relationship always reflects the truth and the reality that is your counterpart, and vice versa. You think you hurt because of them. You're more or less hurt because of the investment, because you deceived yourself. I'm going off into a whole separate tangent. I said I believe men go through worse, but I'm giving you some game on why I believe that. And like, we do it to ourselves. Does it say that way? We do it to ourselves. If you are not receiving what you are investing, run. Run and don't look back. Do not turn around. Do not have any more conversations. There's nothing to speak about. Run. Cut it loose. Whatever you got to do to eliminate that future that you're trying to avoid, do it immediately. Reciprocity has to be a priority. If it ain't there, let it go for your sake. Or don't. Complete preference. We hard headed. We yeah, cut your losses. What's worse? Trying to force it to happen, trying to force it to make it work. But then you got 70% invested into this person. They only got like 15, 20, 30. You angry, you mad because you think that overly and aggressively giving and giving and giving is going to somehow make them want to catch up to your percent. It don't work like that. It has to be there at the beginning. And if it ain't, and you know it, there's a difference between you being deceived and not really knowing it versus actually seeing it in real time and doing nothing about it. That's the part. That's where you gotta take the L. I don't need you looking around, pointing fingers, getting angry at your friends and getting angry at your family, and you scrolling and searching for answers from this person on this channel and that person on that channel. No. When you got involved with him or her, who was involved in that decision? You. When you decided to start opening up and sharing and doing this and doing that, who did that? You. How many people have you been involved with over the years of your life and you realize that you weren't really heartbreaking or hurt over that person? You thought you was, but you realized that you really wasn't. It was just a time in your life where you were just making reckless decisions and choices, but the person that you were dealing with at the time wasn't really your person anyway. It was a test or a trial, or it was just one of them paths that you took. You found out that, well, Bazinga, come on. I know we all guilty of it. I'm not even saying, how can I put this? You can't tell somebody how to feel. Like if you hurt and you go through something, I get it. But it's going to come to a point where you're going to have to learn how to regulate that, understand it. Don't run from it. Try to understand it. Understand where the hurt come from. Why was the hurt created? And then assess the scenario properly. Put the blame where the blame needs to be. Don't just take that emotion and then burn out, lose sleep, don't eat. Do something with it. There's a lesson in everything. Always has been, always will be. It just all depends on you. But by far, men, they go through it way harder. Without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know why that was even a debate anyway. Apparently, there's people who still make the argument for it. I don't, all I'm gonna say is, hey, do yourself a solid. Figure out how to mitigate the issue as much as possible without it turning into a I wish I would have did this or I wish I would have did that. All this stuff can be preventable. It all really just depends on your discipline and your level of discernment. We're not supposed to really be dibbling and dabbling with every single person that we come across. Just because you think they are attractive, that don't mean that you should be involved with them one bit. They could be attractive, they could be witty, they could be all that. That don't mean nothing. You need to really get to know people. But we've strayed way beyond that. And I think that it's gotten to the point where folks are just so done with getting hurt. They would just rather be hoes. That go for every single woman who say they don't need a man, but you out here fucking around with every single thing that you see walking. You doing it to protect yourself so that you don't end up getting humiliated or that's this all this shit is out here. There's a bunch of people that's being reckless, thinking that being reckless is going to prevent them from being reckless. The logic is trash.
The wolf. It takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
Do I need to say it again?
Protect the sheep. You got to catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
Hurt people hurt people. People who are healed move different. They out the way, and they're not putting anyone in a situation to suffer because of their own mess. Just my 2 cents. Anyway, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for hanging out this morning. I'm going back in the lab. I got a show later on at 8. Tap in if you're available. I appreciate the love and support. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do me a solid before you go, if you don't mind.
What's the goddamn button?
Peace.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I hide, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide isn't front on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their phones would bleed. Begging that